After studying this module, you will be able to know more about the concept of hope, learn about the importance of hope in various domains, and understand how hope can be enhanced. Hope has been identified as a cognitive set involving an individual's beliefs in his or her capability to produce workable routes to goals or the pathways, and beliefs in his or her own ability to initiate and sustain movement towards these goals. That is willpower or the agency as said by Snyder. In other words, hope is a positive motivational state that is based on a sense of successful agency, meaning goal directed energy, and the pathways, meaning planning to meet the goals. Means what are the ways you are adopting to move towards that particular goal. Snyder et al. Characterized hope as a human strength manifested in our perceived capacities to clearly conceptualize the goals, meaning goals thinking. Develop the specific strategies to reach these goals, that is through pathways thinking, and initiate and sustain the motivation for using those strategies, that is the agency thinking. Some of the examples of hope messages are: I'll find a way to get this done, I can do this, or I am not going to be stopped, or I'll finish this work time, etc., etc. Hope is conceptualized as a dynamic cognitive motivational system. According to this conceptualization, emotions follow the cognitions and not the other way round. Hope-related cognitions are very crucial. Hope leads to pursuit of learning goals. People with learning goals are actively engaged in their learning. Learning goals are positively related to success. In contrast, those who are low in hope tend to adopt mastery goals. People with mastery goals choose easier tasks which are not very challenging. When they fail, they quit, since they act helpless and feel a lack of control over their environment. So the hope is directly related with the self-efficacious beliefs of being able to control the environment. Hope theory can be subdivided into 4 categories: goals, pathways, thoughts, agency thoughts, and barriers. Hopeful thoughts reflect the belief that one can find pathways to the desired goals and become motivated to use those pathways. In this way, hope contributes to the emotions and the well-being of the people, the ultimate goal of the life. Goals. Goals are the targets of mental action sequence. They provide the cognitive component in hope theory. Hope flourishes when there are probabilities of goal attainment. Goals that are valuable are the anchors of hope theory, as they provide direction for hopeful thinking. Pathways thinking. Pathway thoughts refer to the routes we take to achieve our desired goals and the individual's perceived ability to produce these routes. In order to reach their goals, people must view themselves as being capable of finding or creating workable routes to these goals. Agency thinking. The motivational component in hope theory is agency, which is perceived capacity to use one's pathways to reach the desired goals. Agency thoughts refer to the motivation to undertake the routes towards our goals. Agentic thinking reflects the self-referential thoughts regarding moving along a pathway as well as continuing to progress along that pathway. Some of the agentic phrases are I can do this or I am not going to be stopped, etc., as mentioned even earlier. Barriers. Barriers block the attainment of our goals. In case of a barrier, we can either give up or use our pathway thoughts to create new routes. Combining pathways and agentic thinking. Hopeful thinking involves the perceived capacity to think about workable routes as well as goal-directed thinking. Hope is based on interaction between successful agency and pathways. Pathways and agency thinking are stronger in high hope individuals as compared to low hope individuals or people. Now, hope, barriers, and emotions. Most views have characterized hope as an emotion, while only some have emphasized the thinking process in the hope theory. Positive emotions come from perceptions of successful goal pursuit, while negative emotions arise from unsuccessful goal pursuits. Therefore, it can be said that goal pursuit cognitions cause the emotions. Realize that goal pursuit cognitions cause the emotions. Persons who confront insurmountable goal pursuit but overcome impediments experience positive emotions. And people who encounter difficulties in pursuit of important goals, they report decreased well-being. Perceived lack of progress toward one's goals is the cause of the reductions in well-being. Importance of hope. First, academic achievement. Hope has a very substantial relationship with the academic achievement, which is the first achievement generally in our life. By being hopeful, students can enhance their perceived capabilities of finding various pathways to reach the desired goals as well as motivations to pursue these goals. Hope relates to higher achievement test scores as is indicated in many studies and the higher semester grade point averages in the college students. Hence, efforts should be made to identify academically at risk low hope students who can benefit by interventions to raise their hopeful thinking. Research shows that more hopeful students do better in schools and life than less hopeful students. Hope is positively associated with perceived competence and negatively with symptoms of depression. High hope students are more optimistic and perceive themselves as being capable of solving problems. Hope is related to life satisfaction and well-being too. Hope is linked consistently to higher attendance and credits earned in the class. Hopeful high students and beginning college students have higher overall grade point averages. Higher hope has been correlated positively with self-worth, pleasure in interpersonal interactions, and interests in the goal pursuits of others. Second point is health. Hope predicts physical and mental health, positive response to medical interventions, subjective well-being, effective coping, and health promoting behaviors. Hope also plays an important role in primary and secondary prevention. People with higher levels of hope use information about physical illness to their advantage. People with high hope engage in more preventive behaviors like physical exercise than those with the low hope. Hope theory can also be applied at the societal level to prevent physical illness. Societal primary prevention involves reducing risks and protecting the various sections of society against diseases. Higher hope is also related to benefits in dealing with burn injuries, spinal cord injuries, severe arthritis, fibromyalgia, and blindness. The higher anxiety in low hope people may result in avoiding coping, and avoidance coping is the poorer way of coping, which can be very unhealthy, as indicated by Snyder and Pulvers too. Athletics. Curry, Snyder et al. In 1997 found that high hope college track athletes compared with low hope perform significantly better in their events. They also found that athletes' trait and state hope together accounted for 56% of the variance related to their actual track performances. Higher hope has been positively related to superior athletic and academic performances among student athletes. Sports psychologists and coaches can use hope theory in working with individual athletes and even in the teams. Psychological adjustment. Psychological adjustment is influenced by hope through the beliefs in oneself. Hope is related positively with positive effect and negatively with negative effect. Higher hope is related to reporting of more positive and fewer negative thoughts. Furthermore, high hope as compared with the low hope college students have reported feeling more inspired, confident, and challenged by their goals. High hope individuals also are less likely to use the avoidances, a coping style which is linked to distress and decreased psychological adjustment when used frequently. Successful pursuit of goals is associated with high self-esteem and well-being. When people with high hope encounter an insurmountable goal blockage, they are flexible and try to find alternative goals. In contrast, people with low hope tend to ruminate about being stuck. Being stuck means not moving further. By coping through avoidances, and low hope persons do not learn from past experiences and they become passive in life. People with high hope also are likely to have friends with whom they show and share strong bond. In stressful circumstances, high hope people call on these friends for support. High hope as compared with low hope individuals are more involved in making contact with other people. Higher levels of hope are related to more perceived social support, more social competence, and less loneliness. Furthermore, high hope individuals truly enjoy their interactions with others and are interested in their goals and the goals of others around them. Psychotherapy. From the 1960s through the 1980s, hope was a common process used across different psychotherapy approaches. Hope theory provides a framework for understanding the shared processes for helping people in psychotherapy. McNeil conducted a study of children and adolescents' hope before and after they had received psychological treatment in a residential setting. He found that significantly higher levels of hope were developed during that period. Hope theory has been used to develop successful individuals and group interventions. Hope theory can be used to understand depression, to examine the hope related self talk of the depressed persons. Snyder et al. Proposed that hopeful series are important for creating and maintaining a sense of hope in children. They viewed hopeful stories as a guide for future action. McDermott et al. Discussed a program in which school children studying in grade 1 to 6 were read stories of high hope children. Classroom discussions addressed how these children can incorporate hope into their own lives. Modest positive changes were found on measures of hope. Enhancing hope in students. Hope can be cultivated. Yes, it can be cultivated to strengthen the agency and pathways thinking that help in the goal achievement. Educational professionals can make a difference in students' lives by applying hope theory in the schools and thereby providing suggestions for goals, pathways, and agencies. Not only the schools, this can be applied elsewhere and everywhere, in fact. The students can be helped in setting their goals. Strategies for helping students develop the goals, including encouraging goals that excite students, setting goals according to their age and specific circumstances of the students, and discussing and encouraging goals in various life domains. Helping students select several goals so that they can turn to other important goals when a certain goal is blocked, and teaching students how to set clear, concrete, and specific goals are also some of the ways of enhancing hopes. Strategies for helping students develop pathways thinking include helping students break down large goals into smaller sub-goals, as well as encouraging students to think about their goals and to identify several routes to a particular goal. Other ways are helping students learn not to attribute a blockage to a perceived lack of talent and helping the students to search productively for another route to reach a goal. Strategies for helping students develop agency thinking include helping them understand that goals that are built on personal standards are more energizing than those based on the external standards. Students can also be encouraged to monitor their self-talk and to talk in positive voices. Another effective way is to tell the students stories and provide them books to read that depict how other students have overcome adversity and succeeded. After all, modeling has a very strong base in the learning principles of psychology. Enhancing hope of teachers and the parents. Children begin to learn the mechanisms of hope from infancy, and parents are the first important agents to influence the children's hope. Parents model hope by the way they communicate, set goals, view challenges, and cope their problems. In the same manner, teachers also play an important role in children's perception about their competence to achieve goals and to cope with the setbacks. Having a high hope parent and teacher facilitates children's hopeful thinking. School psychologists can facilitate hope enhancement through the strategies of working with parents and teachers. School psychologists may work with teachers to find ways to inculcate hopeful thinking into the subject matter which the children are studying. Besides parents and the teachers, there are other significant influences on the children's hope, like peer groups. Hope transmission through peer influences should also be a focus of attention in the development of hope. Ensuring that children have hope coaches in their lives is important to the development of hope. Now, in the end, to summarize, hope has been defined as a human strength manifested in our perceived capacities to clearly conceptualize goals, develop the specific strategies to reach these goals, and initiate and sustain the motivation for using these strategies. Hope theory can be subdivided into four categories, that is, goals, pathways thoughts, agency thoughts, and the barriers. Hope develops in a clearly defined way over the course of infancy, childhood, and adolescence. Many biological variables are also involved in the process of hope. Hope is positively related to academic and athletic achievement, good health, and psychological adjustment in the life throughout. Hope can be enhanced by focusing and training on the components of hope. Collective hope reflects the level of goal-directed thinking of a large number of people.